Hi, for the sixth grade. Sorry that the video is a little bit late today, but there are, as we looked at the work text page today, page number 39, and those of you that were here, and of course that the thing at the bottom, the essays, don't forget about doing those. If you need help, if you are not weren't in class today, and that would be three people, Alina, Nazar, and Elijah. If you need help understanding what to do for those essays, those are 4 points each for those essays, and so there are two essays there today. But basically, all the information you need is on those particular pages. Two of the points will be, if we're putting a good paragraph together, two of the points would be getting good information in there. And same thing for describing the mummification process again. All right, and so that's page 58. You have several things in here, and again, they give you page numbers to look on. This is all from page 55. Well, I say all, but the top parts of page 55. Then you get to page 56 for number 5. 57 for number 5 and 6, and then 57. I guess what they've done is they put it above it. So 56 for number 6 and 7, and then 57 for number 8 and 9, and 58 for number 10, and 59 for number 11. And so those are the things that you'll need to do. So today's reading is from page 55 through 57, and so follow along as I read. And then you can look at some of the things they're looking at, the area of mountains along the Nile to the south, the plains around the Nile Delta called, the line of rulers belonging to the same family, the rulers of Egypt being called and were believed to be what, the what at Giza were built at what for pharaohs, as what for pharaohs, and then baskets, boats, ropes, and paper were made from what, records and artifacts survived because of Egypt's hot, dry what, and then ancient Egyptian writing is called what, and then the ancient language was unlocked by using the blank blank, and then Egyptians used their knowledge of anatomy to turn a dead body into a what, and then French soldiers renamed the Chenu some other thing. Okay, and so those are the things we're looking for, those important things, and we'll see if several of the answers right here on this first page. So it says unified Egypt. The Egyptians began settling in two areas along the Nile River. The mountainous area to the south was called Upper Egypt. There's your first one right there. And it says that in the plains around the Nile Delta were called Lower Egypt. Around 3000 BC, Lower and Upper Egypt were unified under a leader named Menes. I don't know if it's Menes or Menes probably, who began the first dynasty of Egypt. At the time, people still identified Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt as two separate geographic regions, even though they were one kingdom. The Old Kingdom pharaohs, circa, the CA, remember it means circa, so it's around the time of 2700 to 2200 BC, which is 500 years. Most of Egyptian history is divided into three kingdoms. The first kingdom is known as the Old Kingdom. It started with Egypt's third dynasty. During this time, the pharaohs had great power. The Egyptians began to believe the pharaohs were gods. Probably the most spectacular accomplishment of the pharaohs was the building of large tombs called pyramids. Each pyramid demonstrated the power and wealth that the pharaoh had gained during his reign, and of course, it talks about what the rulers were called, and what the well, you're getting ready to get some other things here. Archaeologists have found evidence of at least 80 pyramids. Most of them were built during the Old Kingdom. Another name for the Old Kingdom is the Age of Pyramids. Makes sense. Today, people are amazed that the pyramids were built without modern technology. Step pyramids were the earliest type of pyramid. They were constructed with several flat, rectangular layers. Each layer was built gradually smaller going up. The step pyramids were made out of mud bricks with the outer bricks arranged like stairs. The Egyptians believed that the pharaohs would climb the steps to reach the afterlife. And so there you have some information that it sounds like ziggurats, actually. It's very similar to what ziggurats were designed like. Design of pyramids changed over time. Later pyramids were made of large stones that were carefully cut into building blocks that fit snugly together. These pyramids had smooth sides of polished limestone. Each pyramid contained more than just the buried body of a pharaoh. Food, clothing, furniture, and even games and toys were placed in the burial chamber. The pharaohs thought that these things would bring them pleasure and ease in the next life. Statues were also placed in the tombs. They were thought to act as servants to the pharaoh in the afterlife. Detailed scenes of daily life were painted on the walls to make the pharaoh feel at home. Pyramids were usually built for royalty, but some wealthy Egyptians were able to afford such tombs as well. The three pyramids in the Valley of Giza are most well known. The largest of these is the Great Pyramid, which was built for the pharaoh Khufu. Khufu ruled during the 4th dynasty. His magnificent pyramid covers 13 acres and can still be visited today. On the next page, then. All right, you have a picture of the Sphinx there on the right side, and we'll continue on here. It says artifacts. As with most civilizations, knowledge about the Old Kingdom comes from artifacts. Because the Egyptians were so careful to preserve things for the afterlife, a large number of objects survived. Egypt's hot, dry climate was also important in preserving the artifacts. Regions with high humidity cause artifacts to decay more quickly. In Egypt, however, ancient food items, clothing, and colored paintings have survived. As a result, more has been learned about the ancient Egyptian civilization than any other. The largest artifacts in Egypt are structures such as the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx. The paintings inside the pyramids reveal a great deal about the daily life of the Egyptians. In addition to pyramids, the pharaohs erected storehouses, beautiful palaces, and temples. Most of these buildings are located in the cities of Memphis and Thebes. Historians have learned much about Egypt from records written on papyrus. The word paper comes from the word papyrus. The papyrus plant grew along the banks of the Nile, was used to make baskets, boats, and ropes. And you saw that one was on one of the questions you had. It says the papyrus plant grew. It says Egyptian scribes and priests used it for thousands of years to keep records, write letters, and record stories. Papyrus was light and thin and could be stored easily. Many ancient civilizations used papyrus from Egypt until the Middle Ages. And so it was a good commodity for them, and they give you an idea of how they made papyrus there at the bottom. Let's go on to the next page. Let's look at Jean-Francois Champollion. And he's an Egyptologist. He lived from 1790 to 1832. And where? France. Instead of attending a traditional school, Champollion was tutored by his older brother. The brother soon realized that Champollion had a gift for learning languages. By the age of 19, Champollion had received a Doctor of Letters degree. By age 20, he had mastered 13 languages. He was appointed the curator of the Egyptian department at the Louvre in Paris. He was a skilled French historian and linguist. He was also the founder of scientific Egyptology. His linguistic skills and the discovery of the Rosetta Stone enabled him to read Egyptian hieroglyphics. We'll get some of that in what our reading is. Rosetta Stone. In ancient Egyptian writing is called hieroglyphics. There's another one of your questions. People drew pictures of the ideas they wanted to express in language. The pictures became standardized, and some could be used as letters to spell names. This kind of writing was used from about 3000 BC to AD 1100, longer than any other form of writing used in ancient times. For many centuries after the Egyptian civilization declined, no one was able to read hieroglyphics. But in 1799, a large black stone was found in the town of modern-day Rosetta near the Mediterranean Sea. The stone was a lower part of an upright monument called a stele. This stele had been engraved to record a decree of Pharaoh Ptolemy V. The inscription was written in Egyptian hieroglyphics, Common Egyptian, and Greek. The Rosetta Stone became the key to unlocking the Egyptian language. Since Greek was a known language, it was used to translate the Egyptian symbols and words. However, it was not until 1822 that Jean-Francois Champollion successfully translated several of the hieroglyphics on the stone. The Rosetta Stone made it possible for historians and archaeologists to read Egyptian hieroglyphics. So there is your reading for today. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Your secret word is Egyptologist. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye.